Calling pages 6 through 39 in case A 831-169, Christopher Wren versus Affinity Lifestyles Inc. And they're also pages 16 through 49 on the 9:30 Monday.
Go ahead and state your appearances.
Your Honor, Will Kemp, Plaintiffs. Good morning, Your Honor. Eric Pepperman, also for Plaintiffs.
Good morning, Your Honor. Samuel Markovich for the carrier.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joel Odou on behalf of Real Water Inc., AffinityLifestyles.com Inc., and third-party defendant Real Water Gold Coast LLC.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Spurlock on behalf of defendant Whole Foods UNFI.
Morning, Your Honor. Chad Pierce on behalf of Hanna Instruments, Inc., SIDS, US, Inc., and Scientific Instruments Development International, Inc.
Good job on getting all your clients correct. So we've got plaintiff's motion for affirmed trial setting, and then our status check. Let's see. There's a joiner by the Real Water folks, and the response. Okay, yeah, I was like, I remember I read the response, nobody really opposes it, right? Yeah, so that's granted. Let me ask you in terms of, weeks for trial. My days are partial, as you may know. I have hearings Monday through Thursday. So we're looking at partial days other than Fridays. And then I have, after this stack, I might be the only business court judge, maybe not though, to have a criminal as well. So we do 5 week civil trial stacks. Could you get it done in 5 weeks?
Judge, answering that question directly, we've tried 2 cases already. This is the 3rd one. The Gallagher case in front of Judge Williams was a 7 plaintiff case. That trial lasted 14 to 15 days. And I'm counting from opening statements for.
Oh, and I meant to, yeah, that's a good point, because I forgot to say this, including picking the jury.
Right. So the Hunwartson case was a 5 plaintiff case. That was a little quicker. That lasted 9 trial days from opening statement to verdict. So my estimate would be this case would take 12 days.
But how many to pick the jury?
I would think 2, Your Honor. I don't know what your practice is, but I would think 2 is pretty
Okay.
fair amount of time. I think we took a little bit longer in Gallagher because Judge Williams likes to let things flow a little more. Judge Kidd a little bit more so I think that one went a little quicker. But in any event, we would like to start May 28th. And the reason for that is because that is the Tuesday, 3-day weekend. We think that gives us 19 days to finish the case. I don't think we're going to take the whole 19 days. But I think starting on Tuesday is better than starting, say, on May 20th. And the reason being, in the past, when we ask jurors to sit for a 2 or 3 week trial, the 3-day weekend always seems to make the jury selection process last another 3 days. So I think starting after the 3-day weekend would be more efficient. With
When
regards,
does our, bear with me a second, what's the last day of our
May 21st, or something, June 21st.
June 20th? Okay.
so Your Honor, with regards to how long the case is going to be tried, in the first 2 cases, Real Water stipulated the liability and causation. They are doing that in this case with regards to 9 of the 10 plaintiffs. The 10th plaintiff, we're still having discussions with them about, but I do not expect the other defendant on that plaintiff, Costco, to stipulate to liability and causation. So I think we will definitely be trying liability and causation as to that particular plaintiff. There's 10 plaintiffs in the case, but 5 of the plaintiffs are virtually the same plaintiff because what happened here is 5 babies were discovered to have acute liver failure in October, November 2020. They flew up to Salt Lake. They were treated up there. That triggered an outbreak investigation when the Southwide doctor called the Southern Nevada Health District. So there are 5 different babies, but it's pretty much the same liability theory on all 5 babies. And like I said already, Real Water is stipulated to
9.
liability and causation on all 5 of those babies. Only 2 of the babies, which are twins, have a distributor, 2 distributors actually, Speedy Mart and Nevada Beverage. They have not stipulated to liability and causation. We're in discussions with both of them on various issues, but I would anticipate we're probably going to have to try liability and causation on those 2 cases. I don't know what real liability defense they have, since the CDC said it was caused by Real Water, but they have not stipulated that.
Okay.
The other thing I think the court should be aware of is that there have been some settlements that are pending, specifically United Natural Foods, who Mr. Spurlock represents, recently settled with the carrier plaintiff. That was the only plaintiff that was suing them. They're the distributor for the plaintiff in that case, allegedly. In any event, there's a good faith motion coming your way on that. There are active settlement discussions with at least 3 other defendants that might materialize. I would expect at least 1 settlement, maybe 2. But so I think what we have left at the end of the day is going to be, yes, a 10 plaintiff case, but like I've already said, 5 of the plaintiffs are really the same plaintiff, 5 babies. We're going to have a dispute in causation on the 6th baby. That's the Kemp case, because that's the Costco dispute. So you're gonna have liability pretty much conceded by Real Water. The distributor liability is automatic. Sell a defective product. So all we have to prove is the sales. I don't think there's a big dispute on the Costco end of it, on that sale to Kemp baby. But there is gonna be, like I said already, a causation dispute in that case. So for those reasons, I think 12 days is a reasonable estimate. I might be a little bit on the high side. You know, after trying the case twice, we've gotten pretty efficient. And, you know, you and I have a pretty good relationship. I think you're gonna be surprised at how much we agree to in this case. And so, you know, we've done the same witnesses twice now. So I think there's a good understanding on the part of both sides to what needs to be asked and doesn't ask. So that would be our request, that we, you know, motion to be granted, but we request that we'd be down on 528.
Well, thank you. Anything from anybody on that?
Well, Your Honor, I forgot to mention Mr. Tagano is over 70. That's the reason for the request.
Oh, sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Joel Odou on behalf of the Real Water defendants. We agree with quite a bit of what Mr. Kemp represented, and think that starting on that 28th and having 19 days, heaven forbid we need it, would be prudent. We don't think we'll need it either. We think it'll be shorter. I guess my only real quibble would be jury selection probably is a little bit longer with one of our colleagues who we love and adore. He just takes a little bit longer with the jury selection. He's not here today, so I feel like
That's tell him he's missing out.
Mr. Parker likes to ask.
So, Your Honor, we agree, and logistically, we want to make sure that we are meeting the court's needs. Plaintiffs have filed a motion for a jury questionnaire. We doubt it's going to be opposed. We'll be joining that motion. But we just want to make sure logistically we are set and ready to go on this case.
Yeah, Judge, I was thinking, since Mr. Spurlock is going to file a good faith motion on order shortening time, that perhaps we could move the jury questionnaire motion up to whenever he sets his good faith hearing, which I anticipate is going to get filed this week, so probably sometime next week.
Earlier this week, I think.
Yeah, so on the pending motion, if you do a stip to move that to whatever date you get on your OST, then
Yeah, we'll try that.
Mr. Rivera is pointing out just, I mean, more than an FYI, I guess, but I guess June 19 is a holiday, so just be aware of that.
Holidays, I
June, yeah, I was gonna say Juneteenth.
Okay.
So it'd be 18 days. Yeah, given the age of your case combined with, the preferential trial setting. I do have another preferential that I granted recently, but your case is approximately 2 years older than that one, so you'd be in front of that one anyway. So yeah,
Your Honor, can we heard that?
Yeah.
My understanding is we have 13 plaintiffs unless 3 are being dismissed. Are those
Your
the
Honor,
carrier, 3
I-
carriers?
I'm only counting people that actually consume the water or claim an injury. I'm not counting parents.
Oh,
I thought there was 3 carrier family members who are also claiming damages. That's why we have 13.
Random family.
But I agree with you on that. I thought there was 4 total in the carrier family. I'm just trying to.
oh,
get
and I have no
clarification.
idea.
And we don't oppose the motion.
Okay.
Okay, I think 14 days is a little aggressive, given at the current state, if people start.
Oh, yeah,
settling-
and that's why you say, so if we started on the 28th, you'd have 18 days. Potentially, so yeah, just in case you have those extra 4 days, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how long the jury selection will be. I mean, yes, when you try a case for the 3rd time, there are efficiencies.
You would
As someone who has gone through mass torts, yes. I just, right now, there is concern that maybe the 14 days is gonna be a little aggressive, given how many defendants and how many plaintiffs. But again, we do not oppose the motion.
Okay, yeah, so so we'll put you down, start on May 28th, which would give you not 19, but 18 days potentially. And so and like I said, the other person with the other preferential, you'd be in front of that one as well. Let's see. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just to Joel from the Real Water Defendants, just so Lord's support, the parties are certainly meeting and conferring and narrowing the issues. But we do anticipate there's going to be lengthy law and motion, pretrial motions. We just wanted to bring that to the court's attention. Certainly we can address that later. We, in the past, were able to agree upon an order for the motions to be heard. We can certainly do that. I just didn't know the court's practice.
So I'm not sure what the question actually is.
So the court, if the parties stipulated to put the motions in limine in a specific order.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I was.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever order you want's fine.
Eric Pepperman for plaintiffs. I think also in the other 2 cases, we've had some special settings for those motions. I don't know what the court's
That's a tougher question. Yeah. So we probably have to talk about that as we get closer. It's so fluid. 9+ years into it, I'm still, which I shouldn't be, but I'm still find myself surprised. There's often no rhyme or reason that I can tell as to when cases are going to trial or they're not. I mean, I assume you all are. But so for example, like right now we're on our civil stack, right? Yeah, or are we on criminal?
No, we're still alive.
Civil now?
Mhm.
They all went away, other than the bench trial. Or actually, it's even just an evidentiary hearing. Criminal, which will be, be 4 years. It's very similar to civil. I never know, and those get scheduled week by week, which makes reserving things well in advance harder. But if we can, do understand that, I may be having multiple motions in front of me, is that right?
If the motion to eliminate the summary judgment deadline is on April sixth, what I would suggest to one of Mr. Odou suggests is maybe we come back, that's Friday, we come back the week after that. Then we will at least know kind of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, do you have any other pending?
Not to argue, just to talk.
Yeah, to schedule and things like that, right?
Motion
Okay,
coming back.
let's go ahead and give you, you know, like a follow-up status check date. Oops, bless you.
Motion for that, it's not on the.
Oh,
16.
so right now, the jury questionnaire motions on April 16. We could bring you back for that and whatever else before then if you'd like, or
Monday, you're on.
that, yeah, unfortunately, with the docket switches, my civil days are now Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that's a Tuesday, April 16. We could bring you back a week before that if you'd like, on April 9.
Yeah, that'll be fine with me, you're on.
Yeah, we would agree, probably better than most centers.
Okay, so let's go ahead right now, move that, oh, we even have, oh, that's a chamber's motion to associate counsel.
And then if he files his LST motion, we can put it on. the
Yeah,
calendar.
so let's move the pending joint motion on the questionnaire to April 9, follow-up status check April 9. Go ahead and, you know, your OST, put in your declaration. We've already got April 9, please put the motion for good faith on April 9 as well. At 9 AM. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So we can, how many jurors are you, requesting?
Judge, we've been through this twice with the jury commissioner now, so she's kind of used to us, I guess.
Yeah.
Less than 1,500.
Yeah,
1,500.
the questionnaires that went out were in the 1,000 to 1,200 range, 1,200 to 1,400 range. I think in the prior two trials, that ended up being far more than was necessary. We originally called in 300, but I believe the jurors that we actually brought in were even fewer than that. We may need to get the jury questionnaire motion heard a little sooner, just for the purposes of giving the jury services the time they need to get them all out and filled out. I think we will try to reduce the number. But I would say maybe 800. But
Joel will do for the real water defense, we would agree, about 800 to 1,000 roughly.
1,000 questionnaire.
You know, the pool, and certainly, we worked very well and very quickly to reach agreed upon excusals, excuse me. And so we would work with the jury commissioner and your staff to get those excusals agreed to by all parties quickly. We did them on a rolling basis.
Okay,
Your Honor, given that it is June, there, people may have vacations, it might be more prudent to be more for the 1,000.
yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so for now, I'll keep you on April 9. Well, I mean, on the questionnaire motion,
That's the
yeah, well,
Yes.
I mean, is any,
It's backwards.
yeah, bear with me, hold on. I know some folks aren't here, right? Has anybody ever opposed that? Has anybody ever opposed the question?
What happens, Your Honors, there's 5 questions that the defense just can't agree to,
Okay,
so they have to be vetted with the court.
okay,
So
so let's,
most of the questionnaires agree to, but there's 5 questions they just can't agree to.
then we could move that hearing up. You know, we're already at, March 19. March 28th, maybe? Am I here?
Yes.
Okay.
Close that out here.
Anybody object to getting that one on next Thursday?
Your Honor, Joe Odou for the real water defendants. We don't object to having it on March 28th. We have a deposition in Texas that that I will be at though.
Oh. Can you all rely on other folks to argue if needed? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna be joining plaintiff's motion, so we don't have an argument, so.
Okay.
It's really up to the plaintiffs. Mr. Kemp,
Maybe we need to move up 2 days, Your Honor, 526.
My only concern is there are people who aren't here who may or may not want to respond.
528, Mr. Parker, Mr. Pepperman.
Yeah, so March 28th, March 28th for the questionnaire hearing. Okay. We'll keep April 9 on and then. Oh, yeah, for the motion, questionnaire motion, yeah, if you could all, moving party, give me paper copy. Of the motion, the exhibits and any oppositions that get filed. Anything else?
So just for clarification.
Sure, yeah.
Motion for jury questionnaire moved up or we keeping? it?
Yeah, so the questionnaire, March 28th, but we'll also keep April 9 as a follow-up status check.
Thank you.
Is the jury questionnaire hearing at 9 o'clock? or-
Yes, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Well, see you next week, I guess. Or some of you at least, right?
Your Honor.
Thank you.